Hello kids, today is Monday, September 14th, and today was picture day, so we spent part of our morning getting those taken, and then I spent some time introducing our new spelling list that you got on Friday. Well, let me tell you, it was a big old mess. I think the other two teachers who helped me could agree. Since it's a review week, it was kind of pointless to try to organize them by color because there are so many different spelling patterns. Yeah, it's all good. So I am going to suggest that you don't need to sort them by highlighting. You sure can if you want, such as if you're a yellow, like pale and made and gate all have a long AI spelling, but some of the other ones, all the yellow ones are vowel, consonant, E that have a silent E that makes the vowel say its name. And then, I don't think my orange group even came in here with me. The red group, you also have vowel, consonant, E words. I believe they're the blue ones on here. All these purple ones are, over here, are just short E. So if you have a question about what one of the words means, please ask me. They're all on Spelling City. You should be practicing them at least 15 minutes a day. If you can't do Spelling City, then you should be handwriting them over and over because that rote memorization is going to help get those spelling patterns stuck in your brain. Hopefully they're already stuck there because it's a review week. The next thing we did was talked about Ben Franklin. The last 3 weeks you've been learning about inventors, and we talked about all of these inventions that Franklin came up with. And then we just kind of whizzed through this quickly because we were so short on time. We talked a little bit about the Wright brothers and the fact that all of these pages tell the story about how they first got interested in flight and the trial and errors that they had trying to build a plane that would fly. Somebody said it looked like our who was that guy from our last story? Arminius? Can't even think of his name. Anyway, I can't find the one page. But basically, the book talks about the fact that they start with an idea and then they build on it, talk to more people, and keep working to make till they were successful. And then the other book I shared, very briefly, didn't even do a read aloud out of them, just some of the ideas in them. This one is about Mr. Ferris and his wheel. And in this nonfiction text, you learn that Mr. Ferris basically, he got his idea because the World Trade Show was coming to the United States. Before that, France had won with their Eiffel Tower. And you don't see a really great picture there, and then for this year's World Trade Show, people were coming up with almost the exact same idea. They wanted to win, so they said, well, I'm going to make a bigger, better Eiffel Tower. And the people of the World Trade Show said, no, we want something new. And the judges said no to every last one of the people who came up with another big building. So that encouraged Mr. George Ferris to build something that was big but moved. And so he took an idea, the Eiffel Tower, and he created something better and different, also big and amazing, but it was different because it could move. And then I shared another expository text. This one's called Girls Think of Everything. And one question that was asked in class is, why is that just about girls? And we just talked very briefly about the fact that usually when you think of inventors, or in the past, when people thought of inventors, they thought of Mr. Ferris or the Wright brothers. It was more of a male-dominated arena. And this book celebrates stories of ingenious inventions by women. And the one I shared today was liquid paper. Bette Nesmith Graham. Apparently she looked like this. Invented liquid paper. And trying to think before I start in, give me just 1 minute. Make sure. Ah, yes, we need to have this in the back of our mind. This sentence. Even great ideas for inventions require a lot of hard work. The Wright brothers had trial and error and trial and error. And Mr. Ferris also had trial and error. And Miss Bette Nesmith Graham came up with a wonderful invention through trial and error. So please listen. It all began with a mistake. I should also say, this is an expository, or this is a nonfiction text, and the kind of writing that we're getting ready to do is expository writing, and that's when you write about something, let's see, an idea or a concept. We'll have a thesis statement, a main idea, and then you will explain what you know about it. So it's like taking a piece of content that you know and writing about it, about something real or true. All right, it all began with a mistake. Maybe she typed a G instead of an H, or maybe she left out a word. Regardless, in her determination to solve her typing problems, Bette Nesmith Graham developed a most creative solution. She invented liquid paper correction fluid, commonly called whiteout. It was a product that would revolutionize the business world and transform her from an executive secretary at Texas Bank and Trust into a self-made millionaire. At first, Bette tried to erase her typing errors, but the carbon ribbon used in the new electric typewriter made it impossible. The eraser simply smeared and smudged carbon ink all over her paper. Mistakes were professionally unacceptable. But what could she do? I was doing some artwork for Texas Bank on a freelance basis, trying to make a little extra money, Bette explained. And in lettering, an artist never corrects by erasing, but always paints over the error. So I decided to use what artists use. Bette filled a small glass bottle with tempera water-based paint, and along with a miniature paintbrush, brought it to work. She even colored the paint to blend in with the stationery she was using. Her boss never even noticed. Her coworkers, however, knew she had developed a trick, and they continually begged her for her miracle masking mixture. Finally, 5 years after she first used her correction fluid, she mixed up a batch of her secret paint to sell to the other secretaries. I used a green bottle, Bette recalled. I used things I had on hand at home. I took a file label, wrote "mistake out" on it, and stuck it on the bottle. It was my attempt to be professional. And here they show a picture of what it's the smeariness when you would try to do a correction using the old typewriter correction tape. Let's see. When she began making batches of Mistake-Out, she had a 2-room manufacturing plant, her kitchen, and her garage. She also had a few employees, her son Michael and his friends. It wasn't long before Bet was supplying all the secretaries at Texas Bank with her fabulous invention. Several people, including an office supply dealer, strongly encouraged her to market it to the general public. However, before she attempted an organized sales campaign, she thought the quality of the paint should be improved. Although it worked, the tempera she had been using took too long to dry, and it also left the paper wet. Unfortunately, she couldn't afford to hire a chemist to improve her product. I decided I would try to work out a formula myself, she said. I went to the library and found a formula for a type of tempera paint. A chemistry teacher from St. Mark's School helped me a little bit. I learned how to grind and mix paint from a man at the paint manufacturing company. So here again, we have a lady who is solving her problems. Her paint was not the best because it left the paper wet and it took too long to dry. So she sought out the help of experts and learned how to mix like a chemistry teacher. Bet changed the name of her correction fluid from Mistake-Out to liquid paper and set out to market her invention. Less than a year later, a trade publication called The Office included a brief article about liquid paper in its catalog. More than 500 orders flooded in. The wheels of success had been set in motion. It wasn't long before she had triumphantly conquered the business world with nothing more than a tiny jar, some paint, and a brush, and a lot of ingenuity. Somewhere it says how much money she made. I think I skipped it. Oh my goodness. Why did I skip that part? Maybe I already said it. Oh, and a self-made millionaire. So this lady who made whiteout became a millionaire. So great ideas for inventions require a lot of hard work. This lady had to put in a lot of time and effort to get to the point where she became a millionaire. And I think that's about right when we were running out of time. So we're just setting the stage, getting ourselves ready to write an expository essay. Tomorrow I will talk more about what all goes into writing that kind of essay and what the organization structure looks like. So we'll also start working on what our topic will be. Our goal is to have an essay written by Friday. Have a good day.